Hey folks, it is Saturday, December 11th. The time right now is 3 after 3 p.m. and the temperature is around 14 degrees Celsius. And I'm here at Yorkdale Station. And that would be a southbound train. And for this one, I'm going to head over into Yorkdale Shopping Centre, which happens to be the mall with the highest sales per square foot in Canada. And we'll see how things are going over there on a Saturday afternoon during the holiday shopping season. As you can see, the floor in the station is quite wet. I'd assume there's some kind of leak from the rooftop right now.
Outside.
And that's a look to the south. It is unseasonably warm right now. And I think the subway station was built back in 1978. And it should connect to the mall just up ahead here. I think the last few times I was here, this tunnel was closed off. So it's good to see that that is reopened. And there's a look at the Allen Road and alongside the mall itself. And this mall opened originally back in the 60s, although it's been extensively renovated since then. My grandparents lived in this area, so I used to come here with my grandfather as a kid. I remember walking off the subway and going right by a joke store that was just up here on the left. So I mentioned this mall has the highest sales per square feet or square foot in Canada. And size-wise, I believe it's the 4th largest mall in the country. And they've got a Craig's Cookies. These have been popping up all over the place. You can actually check on the Yorkdale website how busy the mall is at any given time. Right now it says there are 2,400 parking spaces available and that the mall is at 74% capacity. And just before I left my apartment, there were 2,700 spaces available, and the mall is at 64% capacity, so it's filled up quite a bit. Although it doesn't seem that busy. It is such an unseasonably nice day. I guess a lot of people have opted to partake in some outdoor activities. And I'm just going to try to meander my way around the mall without backtracking too much. There's an espresso store. Not sure if this is an art gallery or what. That's a neat space. Certainly a very expensive one. And there's an Aesop soap. There's a lot of higher-end retailers in this mall. So it's similar to Sherway Gardens in that respect. I recently did a walk around Sherway. There's a line at Vuitton. And Sephora, which is a staple these days at any shopping center I've been to. So I think I can loop over there maybe. I'm trying not to do much in the way of backtracking, but I think it's impossible given the layout of this mall, at least if I wanted to cover most of it. I don't recall seeing this huge Nike store before. I came here back when Toronto was in what we called a gray zone. And I remember lining up to get in the mall and going through some kind of screening process. It's worth noting that proof of vaccine is not required to go shopping in Ontario, at least not yet. Here's a sport check. I'm just going to head straight here and we'll take a peek at the parking lot, as this will give us a glimpse of Highway 401. That's the busiest freeway in North America, and it runs right along the north side of the property. And just on the right is a large movie theater. That opened up as a Famous Players Silver City, and it's been rebranded as a Cineplex since then. I'm not sure if this Indigo was at Chapters Books at some point. Emergency exit. Let's take the regular one. So this is the north side of the property. And that would be the Allen Road off to the east. And Highway 401 off in the distance. And beyond that, there's a large Costco, and that's where Wilson Station is. That's the next stop to the north of here. And then you'll be at Shepherd West and Downsview Park. So I think the three malls that are larger than this size-wise would be the Eaton Centre in downtown Toronto, West Edmonton Mall, which is in Alberta, and Square One in Mississauga. And that's a mall I've been meaning to record at some point. I just haven't got around to it yet. And that is owned and managed by the same people as this one. There's guest services. I'll see if I can find Santa's Chalet on this walk. I think that's what they call it here. This is an art exhibit and a fundraiser. We've got three of them here. That is La Ligne. Right across from a rather large Uniqlo, which is next to another Japanese store, Muji. There's Drake's store with a lineup. I'm not really sure if there were lineups like this pre-pandemic or not. I've never been much of a mall person, and this is certainly a time of year to avoid shopping like the plague. There's a Lululemon. And a Nordstrom. So I think I've wandered back around to near where I started. Yep, there's the Starbucks over there. All right, so I will head down a new path. I think the rent here is also the highest per square foot in the country. And here's the other side of Sephora. And Zara. So there's layout. I was gonna draw a line of where I've walked so far, but there were some people waiting to look at the map. I feel kind of silly holding them up. So I can stand there pointing a camera at it. It's interesting, given how high the ceilings are here and how open it is, that this is one of the few malls of its size that doesn't have a second level. You know you're a fancy store when. All right, I think I'll be crossing through this section in a little bit. Still haven't found out where Santa's hiding at. I think the food court is just to the north of here. So I'll be taking the long way to get there. North being just to my right. Here's the Marvel Avengers Station. Promising an immersive experience. Is this where Santa's hiding at? Oh, that's just a gift pickup. And I have no idea what this is all about. Maybe it's some kind of 4D ride. It's been here for a while. I remember when a lot of things were shut down, I came here and that was closed. There's a Lego store. And the donut hive. Just in case you want a fancy, expensive donut. Johnston and Murphy. I've done a billion walks through malls, but I still barely recognize any of these places. Bikini Village, their business has to be hurting, given the lack of people going on their usual Caribbean vacations. There's a Rolex. And we found another Starbucks. If I miss covering part of the mall, I do apologize. The Kit Kat Chocolatory. Way to fancy up your Kit Kat brand. And there's an Uncle Tetsu's Japanese cheesecake here. Looking very temporary in that location. And we found it. The lady at the door was looking at me kind of weird. But somewhere in there is Santa. This area is quite fancy. And I think this is right around where they have their valet parking. All right, I'm gonna make a left here. Konjiki Ramen. There's another map, but people seem to be occupying that spot. There's a lint. And the Hudson's Bay, one of the anchor stores here. And I think I somehow managed to circumvent the Apple store. I think that might have been right around the corner from where I just was. Oh well, worse crimes have been committed. But I think there's a Tesla store that way as well. It might be worth making my way over around there at some point. Seems as if these stores aren't as high-end in this section. It also seems to be a lot busier. Yeah, comics, games, and anime store. And I remember a time when Urban Behavior would have had a huge store in any mall there, and although that one still looks to be a fair size, shows what I know. There's a Joey restaurant around here at some point. The Crate and Barrel. Let's take a quick peek at the food court. Oh, maybe not. There's a queue to get in, and I think they're checking proof of vax and just letting people into the entire area. No food court on this one. I don't feel like lining up just to take a look at some places I'm not going to eat from. And if you were to go straight here, this will lead us back to where the movie theater was. There's a Mac store. I think that's a Canadian makeup retailer. Pottery barn for kids. Babaton. It's a weird name. That pottery barn is pretty cool though. It's got a second level to it. And I think I just walked that way. Yeah, the Marvel experience is just over there. My security guard is taking an interest in my camera. I just decided to keep going. He looked at me, and then his head kind of swiveled around. He might be following me for all I know. I don't really think it's an issue. And here is Holt Renfrew. And we have hit a fancy area. There's a Tiffany & Company and a Prada. Although I think this is leading me right back to near where I was. Celine Paris. The elusive Apple store is right ahead, so I just missed it. Although I thought the Tesla dealership was just here on the right. So I'm gonna spin around in a second and head back the other way. I don't see Tesla, but I see a Polestar. I'm assuming that's an electric car. That's the Polestar 2. Scan to book a test drive. That might be a neat video, but sadly I wouldn't have any intentions on purchasing it. And I think that's where you'd get the valet parking offered here at the mall. And there's a Club Monaco. Oh, here's Tesla, just here on the right. And I'm not sure where I'm going now, but there's Apple. And yeah, I'm just gonna turn around and head back now. And I think this will lead me straight back to the metro. Every time I want to look at a map, there's someone standing there. I think that girl was saying these are very rich people who shop here. There's Holt. I just realized part of my sweater might have been making a bit of a knocking noise there. Hopefully that's been rectified, and I apologize for that. And here's where I turned in when I first entered the mall. House of Hoops by Foot Locker. I guess they didn't want to use the name Foot Locker 2. So straight ahead will take us back to the subway station. But I'll take a slightly different route. There's an exit just up here. That'll take me outside. There's a Canada Goose retailer. And a pretty neat Christmas tree. That's one last look at the interior of Yorkdale Mall. And this is not very pedestrian friendly. It's kind of a third of a sidewalk. Let's look back at the entrance. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this walk through Yorkdale Mall. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my YouTube channel membership and Patreon in the description. I also have an Instagram account. It's really not much more to see. We've already seen the inside of the subway station, so I'm just going to end this here, right at Yorkdale Road. And there goes the southbound train, so I'll be waiting for the next one of those anyways. All right, I guess I could take this off. We're outside. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next one.